Klay, we all know the stat now, 28 consecutive series, the entirety of this whole era. You've won at least one playoff game in a one road game in a playoff series. How conscious of just that are you in the middle of this, in the middle of the crowd screaming that you got this in your pocket, that you have this experience, that you can pull it out?
I had no idea that was a thing, but I mean that's amazing. Hopefully we continue this trend going forward. I mean, they have a great crowd, but since what we've been through, I don't think it's the biggest factor. We played in the most pressurized moments, whether it's the finals or the first round. So we just rely on our experience during nights like this.
Draymond, can you articulate sort of what Kevon Looney has become to this team and how much sort of a partnership you two have as the big guys, quote unquote, in this lineup?
Kevon has become like an Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, like a calming force. When we were a lot younger in this run, we had those guys, Sean, Andre. That list goes on, but those two guys in particular, that no matter what was going on, I start turning the ball over, Klay go haywire, Steph go haywire, and they would come in and just calm us down. And Kevon is that for this team. He's that stabilizing force that allows everyone else to focus on what they need to focus on. And, the way he rebounds the ball is incredible. His playmaking has taken another step in the right direction and just continues to get better. And so, he's a guy who we have the ultimate trust in. And, also on the defensive end, if you get beat, he's going to be there, And I know for me, when I'm on the floor with him, I'm so much more comfortable on the defensive end just because he doesn't miss any assignment. And so he's been that guy for us all year, last couple years, and he's continuing to get better.
Steve said that this is a different team than a couple months ago, maybe even just to start this series. Do you guys agree that this is a different team and that's leading to winning a game on the road finally and moving this forward?
I think this team is just, we've really grown together. Every year, no matter if you bring the same guys back and you got the same team, every year that team has to grow together. And, this year took a little longer than you normally like, but it's coming together at the right time for us. And, we know we have guys that we can put on the floor that we trust to make the right plays in these pressure situations. And, it's starting to go well for us.
When's the last time you hit a fadeaway like that one you hit tonight?
It's been a minute, but I'll tell you what, I had that same shot, I think, in Game 2, and I missed it. And I thought it was money. So I went back to it.
You remember what you averaged in 2016 per game points?
Maybe like 14 or something like that, 14 and a half.
Kevon said tonight reminded him a little bit of that. I mean, did it for you?
In Game 4, I was extremely aggressive, I thought, and I just missed layups. And I told y'all after Game 4, I missed 6 layups, and I'll make those. And so tonight coming into the game, I knew where my spots would be. And, that's one of the luxuries of coming off the bench. You can kind of feel the game out, see what's going on. And, if there's a need for something, you can come in and insert yourself into that need. Or, if you see something that's working, you can go and fill that. And so, having the opportunity to watch from the bench for the first 6 minutes and see, pick up the floor of the game, I think has been big. And then also understanding, where my spots are going to be. For the last 2.5 days, I've been in the gym every day working on those things, exactly where I know those shots are going to come from. And, tonight, the layups went down. I didn't miss them tonight, so it was pretty good. But, when you got guys like Klay and Steph and Jordan, Wiggs drawing all the attention that they're drawing, you have to make the defense pay for that, and I tried to do that tonight.
And as for a continuation on that, Draymond, you sitting at the bench, seeing it from your point of view, because you came in, really aggressive. So can you just talk about, coming in and bringing that force off the bench?
Yeah, I mean, the way I view it is like, I'm coming off the bench. Anything you come in and provide off the bench is luxury. It's an added bonus. And so, that was my mindset coming in. If I can come in and get this team something off the bench, I'm adding a bonus to this team. And so, I was able to get to the rim a couple times, as soon as I got in the game and, caught the flow of the game fast and then just tried to stay aggressive throughout.
Draymond, you guys limited De'Aaron to, I don't think he scored in the fourth quarter. What worked for you guys defensively, and how conscious were you of his finger?
I don't think he was conscious of his finger, so it wasn't nothing for us to be conscious of. He still, shot 25 shots and got some of the looks that he's been making. We were able to affect some of them, and they didn't go down tonight. But, when you're guarding a player like De'Aaron Fox, it's a total team effort. There's not one guy on any team that's just going to stop De'Aaron Fox. And so we know we have to rely on each other in guarding and trying to stop a guy like that. And, we had a little success tonight, but he's not stopping. They're facing an elimination game now. Clutch player of the year, he's going to come out and leave it all out on the floor, and we got to try to replicate that effort and also take away at a couple easy ones that we ended up giving them tonight.
Hey, I got a question for Klay Thompson. Klay, how many
Klay
times
is loving that y'all got him just sitting here.
I know,
So thank
I know.
you, Ramona. I appreciate it.
Klay, how many times do you think you've been asked this year why you guys have trouble on the road? And do you, Steve said, I wish I had an answer for you. I'm sure you've given different versions of that answer. So how many times have you been asked, and why did you win here tonight on the road? Why did you finally get this done?
Probably at least 6 dozen times, so y'all can do the math. And I think being whole again obviously helps. I think when we know what the stakes are, we play. We're competitors and we play to that level. And we know how difficult it is to win in this building, and it just took a different level of focus than it would have in the past. And I just think this was probably the best win of the year, but when the clock strikes midnight, it's a new day, and we got to put it behind us because we really don't want to come back. We want to give our fans a show at home and hopefully finish the series there.
And Draymond, do you enjoy being like the villain? Do you kind of lean into that role as the heel when the whole arena's yelling at you and stuff like that?
No, I just be myself. I don't go chasing after some villain title. Being a villain is no fun. It's not enjoyable, but I'm also never ducking any smoke. So whether that's with a player, whether that's with a fan or a fan base, it is what it is, and you got to take the good with the bad. My thought coming in tonight was like, it was great to play in Game 4 and the cheers that I got when I came in the game for missing that game. Super special. On the flip side of that, if you're gonna bask in that and appreciate that, then you have to appreciate the other side as well. We pride ourselves on not being front runners, so I knew for me, I couldn't love and appreciate the love and cheers that I got at Chase and then come out here and fold because everybody's booing me from the time I came in the game. You got to take the good with the bad, and so that was my mindset coming in. I knew, these fans would be at me from the time I went in, and to be honest with you, I barely heard them. I was just dialed in on the task at hand and focused, and I wanted to make sure I didn't give them any of my energy tonight. I didn't give any of my energy to them. Anything other than winning this basketball game, I wanted to focus all my energy towards that. So, for the majority of a couple times I noticed them, but for the majority of the game, I didn't even hear them. I was just dialed in on the task at hand.
For both of you guys, Loon's got Nate Thurman, Wilt Chamberlain rebounding numbers. I don't know how much emphasis is put on scoring, but why is he so great at that, and what do you think about him being in that territory?
That's amazing. Nate Thurman and Wilt, you won't get bigger icons who play the center position than them, especially for the Warrior franchise. And, the work Loon's put in since his rookie year, I can't believe it's his 8th year or whatever it is, 6th.
No, it's 7 or 8.
7 or 8. Yeah. I mean, he was a small forward coming out of high school, now playing the small ball center role, or whatever you want to call it. He's kind of obviously flourished, but we see the work behind the scenes, and Loon went through his adversity early with his hip, and to be out there and being such a vital part of what we do. I mean, I know Draymond's proud of him, and so am I, and we just know he has great basketball ahead of him, but it's just incredible to be in that company. Like, those are two of the greatest to ever play.
I mean, I think Klay said it best. I think the one thing that I'll add is he has a knack for the basketball. You know, some guys just have a knack for finding the basketball, and he's had that. I'll never forget 2016, he said to me, he said, Dre, I can help you rebound. Like, we're getting out-rebounded in this. I can really help you rebound. And he didn't get that opportunity, but I think everyone in the world, if you heard him say, like, you believe it, because from the time he's got an opportunity, he's shown that he can do that thing. And it's it's one of the things now that you expect. And I think that's one of the biggest compliments you can get. Like, we expect Loon to rebound the basketball. We expect him to get us extra possessions on the offensive glass, and he's doing that each and every night.
For both you guys, how familiar is that feeling to just stand out there together and with Steph and Loon and quiet a crowd and see people start to leave and know that, you know, you've done this thing that you've done now in 28 different series? And I guess, does it ever get old?
It's very familiar, and it never gets old. The seasons can be so long, and like, it's a lot of ups and downs, and there's a lot of idle time between games, but it makes it all worth it when you walk off that floor victorious, especially with guys you've been with for a decade plus. I mean, that's so rare in professional sports, and I know Draymond and Steph don't take it for granted, neither do I, neither does Loon, and we know what it's like to get to the mountaintop and fail there and win, so it's just something that we'll cherish forever.
Definitely never gets old, like Klay said. I think the day you get tired of winning, I mean, what's the other side of that, losing? I don't think nobody wants to feel that. So it's a great feeling, and like you said, to still be riding the same train on the guys that you rode in with and doing it, there's no better feeling. It's a rare, rare thing, and we want to keep this going as long as we can.
Draymond, just off of that question, I mean, do you find yourself cherishing it more now that, you know, you're older and don't necessarily know?
Jesus Christ. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you walked into that one, sorry.
No, you definitely cherish it more because I think we kind of got into a space where you expected it. And then to go through a couple years, this guy didn't have to really experience, although he was experiencing his own tough battles. To go through a couple years and not have the opportunity to have this feeling, it's a totally different appreciation for it. And then obviously also an understanding the pressure that could be on us in these situations. And, you know, really appreciating that, but making sure that we answer the bell each and every time.
A little less sentimental, but just what did you think about Gary Payton's impact in the way that he was able to, I think he had the offensive rebound that led to Klay's three that tied the game, and just how many deflections he had?
He was really good. You know, GP hasn't played much basketball all year, so, you know, you're talking about a guy that's still getting his footing. And, you know, for him, we challenged him, you know, like, yo, G, we need something from you. We need you to make an impact. Go rebound the basketball. And he had some huge offensive boards. He got the one, kicked it out to Klay. He got the putback on the other one. He was really big for us down the stretch in that third and fourth quarter. And it's, you know, it's what we're going to need from him as we continue to go forward.
Great, thank you.
Nice. Come for you, Noah.
Why don't you go that way? See if you can get it over the top.
Watch out, people.
Okay, all right.
Hey!
That's beautiful.